Hi, S here, Crave Holistic, and today's video is about emotional intelligence. The reason I picked this topic is because in a holistic experience, in wanting your body, mind, spirit, everything that encompasses who you are, and you want it to be a positive experience or positive interactions, whether you're trying to start a business or you're just trying to be a better person. Holistic healing isn't just about eating right. It's about thinking right, thinking in terms of what will benefit your future or the future of those around you. Emotional intelligence has a lot to do with that. It's so much that you have to pay attention in order to balance your emotions. And in this day and age, it's very hard to do. I have encountered many times where people around me just didn't have enough control. And that's where emotional intelligence lives, within that thin line of self-control and knowing when to speak and when not to speak, or when to bring up a situation or when not to bring up a situation in any type of interaction that you may have in your life. And so Crave Holistic is not just about eating healthy, it's about thinking healthy. And so this is why I've decided to talk about emotional intelligence. When you have control over your emotions, your life is more holistic. You ease into things easier and ease out of things easier. You're able to remedy situations much quicker without the drama. If you're the type of person that feels like you react to things, and that's something I want to point out. So say you're talking to someone and you aren't really liking what they're saying, or you're not feeling it. Most of the time when that happens, almost all of the time when that happens, the other person is just waiting for their chance to talk. So I mention that because when you're just waiting for your chance to talk, you're not listening. You're responding. And responding to something is not really listening. You might be hearing what they're saying and you automatically are turned off because of something they said, without listening to the whole reasoning or the conversation that's happening. And to witness that sort of thing, you can sense the tension in the room if you're a person that's observing this type of interaction, or you're in this type of interaction yourself, and you can really feel the emotions start to rise within you. The hard part is to recognize when that happens. So I am a very chill person. It takes a lot to really get me, and I've been through certain situations where I had to be the person that was chill to remedy things, even places that I've worked. I can see something happening and I can kind of have the emotional intelligence to know when to get in there and kind of like disperse the problem. And like I said, some people don't have that or have not worked on it, because I think everyone can do this and be able to balance it out. So I'm going to give you a few examples of the different types of emotional intelligence that someone may want to look into. One is self-awareness. That is the main thing. You have to be self-aware of who you are. So it's really like a soul-searching type of study that you're doing on yourself, on how you handle certain situations. That's why some people cannot manage, like cannot take on a management role, because they don't have the emotional intelligence that it takes. But I do believe that everyone can obtain some level of emotional intelligence. It just takes discipline and self-awareness. It takes you to be self-aware of what you're feeling, and before you say something, you have that filter. So you think about it, and before you say something, when you're heated, because you know when you're heated, you know when you feel like, oh, I'm about to pop off, you know. You can feel that. I know you may not have, you know, the intelligence to stop it sometimes, but you do know when it's coming. So that's when you pause and you think to yourself, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it solving a problem? Because if it's not solving a problem, then you're just adding to the flames and you're just going to make it worse. So you might as well not say anything at all and stay quiet. It's almost like the old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And this is more important in a professional environment mostly. But if you're a person that has a job, that's your professional environment. Or more so if you have your own business, that is more important. And I've known a lot of business owners that cannot, they have to hire people that have this emotional intelligence because they don't have the patience. You have to be the person that just knows how to react in certain situations. And so having emotional intelligence will really get you far in life, because a lot of people don't realize what they're doing. And I don't want to knock anybody down, because these people have other skill sets that other people don't. And that's confrontation, which is in its own emotional intelligence, where you can nip something in the butt right away and not let it fester or build up. And that, you know, that building up and letting it fester is not good in the long run either. However, there's always a way that is productive in how you communicate with people, because you just never know what the future holds. You might pop off and get angry and irate with someone that you may need to collab with them in the future, and you just don't know. And a lot of people can let shit go. So when they can't let it go, they hold on to it. And so if you run into this person in the grocery store, if you're online and they're online, and you know, it's just, I never hold on to grudges. Now, there's a difference between holding on to grudges and forgiving someone and letting them back in your life. Okay, so you don't have to hold on to the grudge, but you can just be like, I don't, you know, hang with this person like that. You know, that's not the type of person that I want to spend time with. So there that is. So you already have your game plan. Now, the other thing is self-regulation. So regulating how you stop a situation. It's like you're in control of what happens. Even though the other person may be louder and kind of like creating a scene, when you're the calm one, you're in control. They're not in control of their self, of their emotions, of what's happening around them. They're letting it all out in the open, where people are watching and hearing, and it's kind of like they're just embarrassing themselves. So if you're watching this and you're looking into this type of holistic healing of your emotions, because this is the first step to healing if you do have an emotional tendency to pop off and not have that filter, and then you get upset. You lose friends that could be amazing friends that they can't mess with you. Like, they can't chill with you because you are out of control. And if you find yourself in this situation, everyone can do this. So it's not something that's unobtainable if you're that type of person. Now, if you have friends that are like this and you're thinking, man, I don't know if I can hang with them anymore, I get it, because I'm the chill person and sometimes you get drained. But letting them know in a productive way and communicating to them, and not just staying quiet and not saying anything, you're helping them in some way. Emotional intelligence, it heals wounds that you didn't even know you had, because holding on to things and letting them build up, one day you're just going to be ordering coffee and they're going to get it wrong and you're just going to flip out. And it's not even about the coffee. It's about all of the suppressed shit that you've been holding on to. Okay? So one of the things that you want to do is, when you find yourself in a situation that you feel uncomfortable, the conversation is getting a little, and you're about to say something and you just want to know that when you say something, you can't unsay it, even if you're playing around. Most likely you're not, because most likely when you say something, you mean it in some way or shape or form. You mean it. And they'll hear it, and then you can ruin relationships. That could be a friendship that you really care about, or that could be your partner in life, and that can be your soulmate or your mother or anyone in your life. It could be one of your children. And you have to have that filter. So you have to wait before you speak and say. And it seems like you have to put this conversation, whenever you feel that, know that the trigger, that whatever triggers you in that emotional way are your guides to heal you, if you allow it to. That's the trigger. That's the self wanting to come out and release all that suppressed shit that you've been holding on to. So if you also have avenues to release it, that would be a very productive way to do so as well. So one, think about things that you may want to just relieve that anger. Take a kickboxing class, go to a MMA class, go to the gym, go for a walk, play with your pet, read some inspirational quotes. If you feel that your life isn't going the way that you want it to, and you're the type of person that pops off at people for no reason, I mean, you could really do damage to a relationship without even knowing it. So if you have any questions, comment below. Be kind, be mindful, and be self-aware of the things that you say, because your emotional well-being, you're healing for that emotion, and there's something that's triggering it. You can recognize this and heal yourself from the traumas that you've been through, because nobody should really have to deal with that. It's your shit. You're supposed to deal with it and not project it onto people in your life, like onto your children or family members. And if this video is triggering you, then just maybe there's something in it that you needed to hear. And if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know in the comments. As here, signing off.